Here, my name's April Sawtell and welcome to my channel. Today what I'm going to be doing is I am just working on a couple of baby quilts. I have 8 little grandchildren. 2 of them are still in daycare and they still have naps, so they still bring their blankets with them. And my daughter's told me that they're still using their little Christmas quilts, so she asked if I could whip up a couple of little Easter quilts for them. So that's my plan for the day. So I thought you just might like to come along for the ride. I have no pattern for any of these. I'm going very improv. I gathered up a bunch of fabrics that I like the colors of that I thought would look good with these quilts. I have cut them in strips, all random sizes. So they're all, I've just made the width of fabric with whatever colors I wanted to go with. I had some odds and ends strips laying around, so I grabbed them, the colors I wanted. Those are just 2.5 inches. All of the strips are different sizes. I've got some fat quarters over here that I'd like to kind of throw into it. I've got some more fat quarters over here that I'll probably use somehow, some way. And I think what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna make the back out of the big long strips and I'll make the top out of the fat quarters. So, if you'd like to join me, all you're gonna need today is a ruler and you'll need a rotary cutter. That's it. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna just start grabbing colors that I like at random and I'll take them over to the sewing machine. I think I'm actually gonna start with these here. So I've got these 3, I think I'll sew these all together. Okay, let's go get started and then we'll go from there. Not going over any other seam or anything like that. So I'm gonna just wait and press when I feel like I'm at a point where I really would like to. So I'm just gonna ride this one all the way down. And I'll see you back at the table in just a minute. I'll see you back at the cutting table. Here's what the back of my quilt is starting to look like. I've decided to start with the back of the quilt versus the front of the quilt. So actually I might be able to take some pieces when I get done doing all this and put that on the front too. So we'll see. So I need to pick a couple more colors to take over to the sewing machine. I think I would like to take this orange one. I think will go right there on top of the green. And then I think I might take, I will take this yellow one right here. I think I'll have 2 yellows in this one. So let's see. Let me see how that's gonna look. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this orange on this green, and I'm just already going to add another yellow. Just keep doing the same thing, sewing them down. And as I did, I decided to just put that yellow right here beside this other yellow. I just liked how it looked. I'm just going to go with that. So I just want to show you something really quick. So I have to change my bobbin. I just redid another bobbin. And I just wanted to show you, I put these little J's all over my bobbin. And that tells me these bobbins go to this machine. So this is my Janome. And I need to know what bobbins go to what. Because sometimes what happens is, if you try to put this in another machine, that it looks like it's really close, it's going to fit, or that you think it just fits and it's the wrong one, you're just going to have a time. So I've learned the hard way. I always just label them, and I always order a ton of bobbins. So I will just put their initials on all of them. And I'm over here at the ironing mat, and I am going to just set all these seams now. I've got a few strips sewn on. I wish I would have now did this after each time. Usually I do. I just thought I could get away with not coming over every time. So you might want to just come over every time. It makes it a lot easier. Just push those seams open. There's just a lot more to maneuver, that's all. Okay, I'll see you back at the cutting board. Here's what the back of my quilt's looking like so far. And I do like how I put the 2 yellows together. I think that just looks pretty. Okay, I've got to find some more pieces here. So I think I want to add this green one down here. I think I'm going to put that right on top of this purple. And then I think I'm going to add this one to the other side. This one. This one I think I'm going to put on this other side on this yellow. Let me see. I don't know why, but I'm not liking this one. Okay, this one's out. And I think I want to put this blue one on top of this yellow one. Yes, I think I like that. Take this over to the sewing machine. So I'm just putting this green one right here on top of the purple. And because the one that I'm going to attach the blue one to is at the other end, I am going to just put both of these on before I go press it. Because they're in two different parts of the quilt, so it won't be so hard to press it. That's what my quilt top so far is looking like. Now I'm still not sure. It's already at 36 inches wide. I'm not sure how long I want to make it. So I am just going to keep looking at it for a little bit, and I think I'm going to start on the next quilt. But this out over and over how I kind of want this to look. I've kind of come up with this. So what I've done is, like, some of these are super wide. I'm just going to cut them down a little bit, and I'm going to make this fit. But I think I might go in this pattern right here. This one here is definitely not going to work for me. I'm just not going to even bother with it. I've already said that. I know I've already said it, but I mean it this time. I'm not going to try that one again. All right. I think I'm going to just start sewing these up in this order. And see what happens. What you're going to do here, you're just going to take all of the strips that you've made and you're just going to keep sewing them down in order of however you wanted them. Going to go ahead and cut this purple one down. It's just a little bit too wide, so I think right there looks good. Just going to straighten it, square it up. Perfect. Okay, I'll add this one on. While I'm at it, I think I'm just going to go ahead and I think I want to get a little bit off this one too. This one, I think I just want to make this one really skinny. My quilt has grown so fast that I'm a little bit out of, I'm going to have too much width here. So let me take a bunch of this off here. Trim that up, and here's what the two quilt backs are looking like right now. I think what I want to do though is I think I want to just take and make some strips out of them. I'm going to try that and see what happens. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to match these up, this seam. cut this edge off first. So just line that up. I'm going to take my innermost piece of fabric here, which is this yellow one that comes in the most. And I'm going to just line my ruler up. I'm going to follow a seam here too. And I'm just going to follow my lines on my ruler. Make sure I'm squared. I'm just going to cut that right off. So I'm just going to cut 4 more inches off here. That's going to give me a 10-inch and a 4-inch. Not that that matters, because it can be any size. And let's see, I think I'm going to even do another one. I think I'm going to just do like a 5-inch one, approximately. Decided to do is just get some more yellow, and I thought that I would just line them up, and I'm going to cut them all to the same size as the purple, because I decided I wanted to put all 3 of these colors. I'm going to match them the long way. I'm going to sew some seams on them. I think that will look good. That's going to be my sashin. So all I'm doing right now is I'm just randomly attaching these strips, these little pieces together and making strips. And then I'm going to just do it to all of them. I'm just going to attach all of them together. And then what I'm going to do is then I can just cut it wherever I want it to be. I mean, how many ever strips it gives me. It should give me about 3, I think. Okay, I'm going to go press this. All I'm going to do here is I'm just going to fold down each little seam. All I'm going to do here is just give it all to one side. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay out these strips that I just made, and I'm just going to trim them about where I think it's going to end. And then I'll do the same down here. I'll just take, it's still on my big long strip, and I'll figure out where I want to, how I want to lay it. I think I like the way this is laid out. I think I'm going to go ahead and go sew it. Now I might end up trimming this down again, because it's just going to depend on what the size comes out in the finished, as a finished result. I don't mind if I end up if I end up cutting one of these off, that's fine. And I don't mind sewing it on to look at it. So whatever I won't end up using or gets cut off will just go in the scrap bin, and it will get used for something else. So, okay, I'm going to go sew these together. That's the quilt back, and I'm gonna see what I can do with this one. I think I'm just gonna cut this, and then I'm just gonna flip it so it's just not straight all the way across. I'll try it. Oh, I'm just gonna cut like 9 inches off. I think that will be good. And I'm just gonna line it up on my mat, and I'm gonna line it, I'm gonna come follow my ruler and use the mat. I gotta hold firmly. All right. Now let's see what I want to do. It would be good if my rotary cutter would have cut that whole piece. That's okay. We'll cut it by scissors. Time to change my blade after this project. big deal is. I have all kinds of blades. It's just changing them. I always feel like I can just push a little bit more. Get a lot more use out of it. And then I always find myself in a jam like that. So I preach to use the, you know, change it all the time, but it's kind of hard to do. Okay, that's what I'm looking for right here. I'm going to go put these two together. And I'll see you right back here. I'm going to put them together, I'm going to press them, and then I will be right back here. 2 quilt bottoms, the 2 quilt backs. I think they're adorable. Okay, they say happy all over it. Now I'm going to get ready to start the tops. I just cut my fat quarters down to 9 inches. So they're 9 by 20.5 inches is what they came out at. Measuring, I'm just cutting. I'm just picturing how I think I want to put a piece of this and then a piece of something that isn't the same. And I'm just going to keep doing that. Press all of these, and I'm going to open them all up and push that nice and flat. So I'm just looking at all of these, and I think what I want to do is I just want to match them up by 2s. I think I'm going to have them, I'm going to sew them together in 2s like this, right sides together, so it'll look like that when I open it. Now I'm just going to match them up in 2s, so when I get to my sewing machine, I'll know what order I kind of want them in. Well, okay, so I've got these the way I want them. I had quite a time with this little guy right here. I just couldn't get anything that wasn't staggered. So I ended up cutting a purple and a green piece and putting that together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold these all over, and I'm going to go sew them right sides together. And I'm going to sew these ones right sides together, and then I'm going to add this one on after. But I'm going to set the seam in between. So I'll take this over to my sewing machine, and I'll see you right back here. Oh, I love how it came out. I'm going to first trim it up, and then I'm going to hang it behind me so you can see it. I just want to get all these raw edges, these messy edges off it. Follow one of these seams here. I think I'm going to work on the next quilt top before I come back to that one. Okay, I'm going to start laying that fabric out. Here's, I've got all of these, I've cut the same size. These I'm going to do a little bit different. I think I'm just going to stack these ones. So I'm just going to lay them out and see what I got going here. My 2s, and then when I open them up, they'll be like that. I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what that gets me. If I don't like it, I can do something different. All right, I'll see you right back here in just a minute. I'm going to go just sew one seam down each one. I'm going to press it, iron it open, and then I'll connect. I'll come back and then I'll connect after that. See you in a minute. Okay, here's how the second quilt top came out. Now what I decided to do was I decided to just go ahead and cut a couple off at a different angle. Just took the pieces like I did on the last one and sewed them into some strips. And all I'm going to do with that is I'm going to put that around the border. I'm going to sew this all up and show you what it looks like when it gets all done. Sew the border on, all we've got to do is sew on each long end, and then each width. So first just do your 2 long ends, and then we'll come back and we'll do the width. Is set the seams, and then I am going to press them open. I'm just going to put the back in, and I will do that off camera and show you how this all comes out. Okay, here are the 2 quilts that I made. I love how they came out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time, and remember to keep it simple. Have a great day. Bye.